Hello folks, Bronco Bob here with a video that I promised to walk around on the Dodge Powerwagon. Some of you guys say this looks like the Simon & Simon Powerwagon. Well, it really kind of does. But I've had it for a couple of years. I got it from a guy in New Mexico. He was kind of a mechanic and a fab guy, and he rebuilt the motor, put new suspension. He built these really nice bumpers. It's got a Weston T-Max heavy-duty winch. I think it's an 8,000 pound. Yeah, it's an 8,500 pound. It's got a kangaroo on it like Australia. It's got these old school HID lights. And what's neat about this truck, the original color was orange. And somewhere back in the day, somebody wanted it to be dark blue. So they painted it dark blue. And over the years in the desert sun out there in New Mexico, the blue kind of faded away. And you can see where it had a camper shell on it because there's a straight line right here, and it's also up there on the cab. You can see where the blue paint was kind of preserved. The interior is in decent shape. If you look under the dash, you can see some more of that orange paint, which was factory. But what I liked about this truck when I got it, it has the bucket seats, it's got the console, and then I found these jump seats that match and put those in. My grandkids can ride back there. I like the Granny 4-speed, and it says in the listing that the radio plays through JBL speakers. They're actually JVC speakers, and I think there's a blown fuse because the radio is currently not working. All the gauges work, the alternator, temperature, oil pressure, fuel gauge. That's the button for the PIA lights. The headliner is just kind of a piece of cloth over a little foam pad. All the glass is good, but we'll finish walking around the truck. It does have two fuel tanks. The rear one is not connected right now. The front one is the one I've been using, and it holds about 20 gallons, so it's a big tank. The tires are 35-inch X-Terrains. They're Pro Comps. It's got Black Rock wheels. He did a nice job on this back bumper. It holds 2 gas cans and a water can, and then it also holds the high lift jack. He even put a grease zerk here on the end. These caps right here you can unscrew, and you got storage for you can put a drive shaft in there. He said he was going to put a steering drag link in there just to have for a spare. But he built a really nice rack system where he could haul his camping gear, bicycles. It's got a little lock here where you can get into this compartment without, you know, swinging everything open. But I'm going to open this up where you can kind of get a look at it. It's really well made. He put like a bearing on that where it pivots really nice, and then it's just a really good quality. Let me open this tailgate. It does have a spare tire, not much of one, but it holds air. The tailgate I think may not be original because it has not only some orange paint, but it's got some green paint. If you look real close, you can see the green, the blue, and the orange. But the rest of the bed doesn't show any green, so I'm thinking maybe the tailgate got put on there at some point in its life. Going down the side, there's a little dent here under the tail light. I mean, if you wanted to repaint it, but I wouldn't. I'd leave it just like it is because it's really cool. On this side, there's the rocker it's in good shape except for this dent right here, and there's a rust spot right there on the fender on both sides on the front. And this is the club cab. And wherever I take this truck, it draws a crowd. I usually go to Home Depot, pick up stuff on Saturdays, and I'll come out and there's people taking pictures and asking questions. The interior and carpet is good. The previous owner actually put the carpet in. I did the seats. But I love the Granny 4-speed. The exhaust exits right outside the passenger rear tire. In fact, I'll start it up here in a second. Just kind of going around the front. But it does have power steering. And water tends to puddle right here, and you can see a little pattern kind of there etched into the hood and into the paint. When I got the truck, the air conditioning wasn't working, and I had a friend of mine that's a mechanic. He basically serviced the AC and found a leak in the condenser. Anyway, got it all working. In the summer it blows nice, really cold air. Let me see if I can open this and hold the camera at the same time. There we go. It does have dual Optima batteries, one on each side, and you can see some of that orange paint kind of up under the firewall. The motor has about 2,000 miles on it. He reset the odometer when he rebuilt it, and it's basically a stock rebuild. 30 over, new pistons, new bearings, new cam bearings. The radiator was rotted out. It's got an overflow bottle. It's just a big torquey motor. In fact, let's start it up and let you hear it run. Make sure it's in neutral. But it's a 400 2-barrel. And it's got one of those giant compressors on it, and that is the AC compressor. And when he redid everything, he put new hoses, new belts, new water pump, starter, fuel pump, alternator, just kind of replaced everything to make it good. But it drives down the road good. It'll cruise 70, no problem. The exhaust has glass packs. It's not real loud, but it's got a little rumble to it. And this all goes back real nice and easy. And if you didn't want the rack in the back, that comes out. It's just bolted in. But it's a secure place to put stuff. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but she snaps into place, and it's a nice heavy-duty setup. Over here on this side, there's the data tag. The same deal, there's rust on the end of the fender. I think it gets trapped up in that fender well and it just stays there. And normally the rocker panels are the ones that rust in the corner of the cab. And this one, the corner of the cab and the rockers are good. On the driver's floorboard, I've taken a couple pictures. There is a few little holes up underneath that you can see, but overall it's very solid and the frame is very good. No issues at all. But it's a cool truck. It drives good. It's just it's a lot of fun. And of course it's 4-wheel drive and has a granny 4-speed. We close this door. Sorry this video is so long. But there's a big long truck, there's a lot to talk about. There is a dent in this fender too, right here. And again, you could fix it. You could probably strip it down and make it completely orange, reshoot it. But I kind of like it like it is. It's pretty cool. He also redid the brakes, the wheel bearings, and the master cylinder was replaced when he did all this work. And that's what attracted me to the truck. The guy was very particular. He took a lot of time doing it, about 1.5 years. And he actually sent me a picture of the motor when it was on the stand, and I have it somewhere. If I find it, I'll get it posted up. But if you have any questions, let me know, and we'll do a video also of driving the truck. But she's a beast. but you could certainly get in it and drive it cross country. I do want to mention the heater core was dripping on the floor mat. I noticed. I don't know, it was more in the summertime. And today I don't see it dripping. And I asked my guys to bypass it, but basically there's a valve on there, and I think all they did was just close the valve. So it is going to need a heater core. I priced them. They're about 30 bucks for a new one, and then a good Saturday of labor to put it in. It goes up under the dash. But we're about to hit warm weather here in Texas, probably here pretty soon. But again, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm Bronco Bob. Happy bidding on the auction, and happy trails.